Hi everyone, Mike Flores here, co-founder of TradeProsper. Today we're going to take a look at the trades of the week that we're going to watch. There's quite a few markets, so let's begin. Let's start off by looking at the equities markets, which is what is on most people's mind nowadays. So see here, we can see that the E-mini S&P market broke below the 50-day moving average here, this red dotted line, on Thursday, and closed below it. However, Friday it broke back above and closed near the highs. Now, this key level up here, we're looking for it to make new highs in order to get it to continue to move higher. The main level on the bottom side that we're watching is 1881, 1882 level, which is the 200-day moving average, and this swing low. Notice that the ADX is now declining, which is showing that the market is no longer trending, and it's kind of just in a sideways consolidation at this moment. Slightly drifting lower, but we'll see what really happens in the next week or so. Now let's move over to the mini NASDAQ, the mini NASDAQ futures, and you can see here the NASDAQ market is a little bit stronger than the S&P market. It as well is non-trending at the moment. You can see this consolidation pattern happening here, but it's above its 50-day moving average. So this market is stronger at the moment. And this is the chart of YM, the mini Dow Jones futures market. You can see here this as well is consolidating, and it's a bit stronger than the S&P as well. So right now equities are still in an uptrend for the most part, the three major indexes. But now let's move over to the Russell 2000. Over here on the Russell 2000, we can see that this market has closed below the 200-day and 50-day moving average. Notice that the 50-day moving average is just now crossing over the 200-day moving average, getting ready to cross below it. You can see there that they're about a point in difference at the moment. Notice how the ADX is now strengthening, which means this downtrend is gaining momentum. So if anything, you would be short this market and long the E-mini S&P. That would be a good spread to put on. Or you could just be short this market. Again, we talked about this before. If equities do start to get weak in tandem, I think this market will lead to the downside, and I will add a bigger weighted position to the downside here. Now to the gold market. I've made the chart a bit smaller here so we can see more price action going back a little further. We can see here this black horizontal line and this black line going down on an angle, that this is a descending triangle. Okay, so when we get a break of this is a bearish pattern. When we get a break of these lows here, we should get a move that's the distance from this high, from the high to the low of the triangle. Okay, and that's, I'm going to say it's about 200 points. So we project that lower and look for a move down to about the 1,000 level. That's a longer term move, but it's something we're going to look at. Notice here the 50-day moving average crossed below the 200-day moving average. And notice that it's the last week gold consolidated at the moment. This 1185, 1180 level down here, this is the real area that we're watching closely. Now this is the silver chart. I've made this chart even smaller to get more price action on it because the levels go really, really far back to major levels now. We've broken through major support and silver looks weak, and you can see the ADX is getting stronger and now crossing above the 40. So we really want to be watching this market to see what is going to happen next, but really the next major level is all the way back here, back in February of 2010, the 1580 level. That's the major level we're going to be watching in the silver. Moving over to copper, we can see that copper has been weak and the ADX is now increasing. We can see the 50-day cross below the 200-day moving average, giving us some more belief in this move lower. It's consolidated this past week, and the major levels that we're looking at here are the 298 level firstly, this level down here, 298, 297, but more importantly, this 291 level. There's an inside day here, and you can play this inside day. So which means you would buy on a break of the high or sell on a break of the low. And it means that this day's bar was inside the previous day's bar. The high and the low was inside. I'm only going to play this from the short side myself. If it breaks to the downside, I will get short, a full-size position. If it breaks to the upside, I'm going to pass on this trade. I think there's better places to put my money on the upside. So that's what I'm looking at in copper. This week, over to the energy sector, I'm only really going to talk about Brent crude. We've been talking about the big move down that it's had and how it had some consolidation, breakdown, consolidation, breakdown, consolidation, breakdown, small consolidation, breakdown. Well, there's an inside day in Brent crude as well. The ADX is really high up at 53, but it doesn't look like it's showing any signs of weakness at the moment. So I'll play this trade as well. From the short side, I'll get short on a break of the lows, and then probably add a little more on a break of the major swing low over here, and leave my stop at the high of this day, of Friday. Now what I've done here is I've tightened the price action in Brent crude to show more price action, and we can see we've broken through some major levels here, and really these double bottoms all the way back here are the next key level, this 93.80 level, and then below that the 91 level down here. Those 91 level and the 90.80 level, this is a big levels. So we're going to be watching Brent crude to see what happens there, and I'm going to trade the inside day to the downside in that market. Okay, this is the cocoa market. We talked about this last week. It did break to the high, so we did get long. It's had some consolidation up here. The overall trend is still strong. The ADX is still strengthening. Really want to see it break back above these highs. My stop is currently down at the low of this bar at the moment, so let's see what happens. This is the breakout bar. Let's see what happens in the cocoa market, but I am long this market at the moment. Okay, now over to the live cattle market. I don't think we've ever talked about this one before. This is a market I don't trade very frequently. I think I've only traded a couple of times before, but I like this setup here. We have a 55-day high up here, and the market is well above its 200-day and 50-day moving average, and the ADX is just turning stronger now, above 20 and getting stronger, and I'll look to buy on a break of this high. Now this would be a very important high, and let me show you why. Let me make the chart a little smaller, and you can see here that we haven't been above these levels ever. So this will be a serious breakout in this market, right? We haven't been above these in a really long time. So I'm going to buy above this high here and look for a move stronger in this market. If it doesn't go, it doesn't go, and I won't get long. Okay, now over to the currencies. I'm going to start with the Euro Swiss. I'm going to show you this chart here, and notice that the market is weak. It's below its 200-day and 50-day moving average. But the reason why I'm showing you this chart is not because I want to do a trade to the short side, but just because I'm not going to be in this market at the moment. Now, why is that? Well, last week, the Swiss National Bank Chairman Jordan, he came out and said that they will defend the Euro Swiss at the 120 level by buying unlimited foreign exchange. So that means they will not let it go below that 120 level. Now, this has happened before, and let me show you this on the chart. Look at this period in time. They defended this 120 level, and basically they went and bought as much foreign exchange as was needed in order to keep the market stuck above 120. So I think this market may go into this sideways pattern for now. So I'm not going to play it. I will look for a break to the upside at some point. We can see that happened before. It broke to the upside. It had some volatile movement, but in the end, the market still wanted to sell off, which is what it's done over the past couple months, since the beginning of the year, really. But now they're coming back in to say they will defend that level again. So at the moment, those of you looking at Euro Swiss, I would pass on it. I wouldn't look at it. I would just move on to other things. All right, now let's take a look at sterling yen. I'm currently long sterling yen, and I'll look to get longer as the market breaks to new highs above here, this 180.72 level. But what I'm bringing to your attention now is an inside day here. There was consolidation all last week in the sterling yen, but I will play a break to the upside. It's seasonally in a bullish period for another week or so, and I will buy on a break of Friday's high and leave my stop at Friday's low, this double bottom that we had here. Now, some people are saying, oh, sterling yen is overdone. It's had its move up since, the middle of last year. But let me put that into perspective just a little bit. Look at this chart. This is the chart of sterling yen. Take a look at this chart. I just put the price action up, and I made it go back, 8 or 9 years. And you can see here, this is where sterling yen currently is. It was in this consolidation period, but it just broke to the upside, right? We broke from these highs here, and now we can see some real momentum. I mean, we have really this zone here, this next zone of price action to look at, this 190 to 189 area. This is what I'm going to be watching closely. 195 to 185 area. I'm going to be watching this zone, but that's the first stop, and then you could get all the way up to 215. So I'm really going to be playing this from the long side for now, as the market gives us the opportunity to. What we have here is a chart of the Kiwi dollar. Now, we've been short this market for a few weeks, and I'm actually looking to get shorter on a break of these lows here. Now, I'm going to show you why in a moment, but first, let me tell you all about what the RBNZ President Wheeler said. He said the New Zealand was prone to significant downward adjustment because the current levels are unjustified and unsustainable. Now, this is the guy who was in charge of monetary policy in New Zealand. When he's making a statement like that, you want to pay attention. The market has sold off all last week and has been nothing but down. We may see some correction, but I'd probably sell into any correction up into the 50% move, the 50% retracement of this move. Anywhere back up into the 82, 81, 83 area, I'd sell into that. But really, I want to see it break down and get shorter. Again, I don't know what he's targeting. He didn't give any levels that he was targeting, but we had a big move since 2009, and we could get a significant move lower. So this is what I'm watching here in the Kiwi. Okay, this is a chart of dollar yen. I've also made the price action really tight here, so we have about 7 years of price action here, our daily price action. And we're making some really good highs. We see we've broken out of consolidation in the dollar yen as well. Broke recent significant highs at 105.40.50 area, but now the next big level is coming up all the way back here at the 110.50.60 area. If we can break through that, we should see a nice move up to the 114.115 area. So I'm long dollar yen and looking to get longer on a break of that major level. And lastly, let's look at dollar rand. Dollar EM, dollar versus the emerging market currencies. Emerging markets have gotten hit this past week. Dollar Mexico, dollar Singapore. But dollar rand overall is the strongest with the upside move. And this is a big important level up here at 1140. And I would look to add on a break of that move. There's a lot of volatility in this currency, and as well as Turkey, Mexico, and not Singapore as much, but still, this is the best EM currency to be long at the moment. Sorry, EM currency pair to be long at the moment, dollar rand. Again, it does have high volatility, so for those of you who can't withstand volatility or can't trade it, this is just something for you to watch. Dollar is very strong against the currency at the moment, and this is what I look to be playing here in dollar rand for those of you who are not long dollar rand at the moment. And that's it for this week. Those are the markets that I'll be watching. Those are the trades that I'll be putting on the big picture, and I gave you a couple of intraday ones or 1 or 2 day trades. As always, please leave your comments in the section below. Let me know what markets you're looking at, what you're trading, and why, and what you think. On behalf of TradeProsper, this is Mike Flores. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks a lot. Bye now.